Hi, welcome to Nomis Academy. This time we'll be dealing with SORT. What is SORT? SORT is an irrational root of a number that cannot be expressed in a ratio of two numbers. So maybe you have something like root 3, something like root 7, or we can even have cube root 4, or we even have 3 root 4. Cube root 4 is different from 3 root 4. So these are sorts. Before we have anything to do with sort, whether addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, we should learn the rules of sort. So there are some rules that should be followed in dealing with irrational numbers like this in terms of sort, or in the topic of sort. So let's take the rules of sort. Rules of sort. Now, rule number one says root m multiplied by root n is equal to root m multiplied by n. Root m multiplied by root n is equal to root m multiplied by n. So that means that if I have root of a number to be multiplied by the roots of another number, I can just multiply the numbers together and find the root. So this is what I'm saying. For instance, let's say we have root 5 multiplied by root 4. So this can be written as root 5 times 4, such that my answer can be root 20. Rule number 2 says root m all over root n is equal to root m all over n. So meaning that if I have root 20 to be divided by root 4, I can just take one root since they have common root. So I can just take root 20 divided by 4. So this is what I'm saying. Per example, let's say I have root 20 divided by root 4. So this can just be expressly taken as 20 all over 4 root. So my answer can be root 20 divided by 4 is 5. So root 5. So this is the rule of sort by multiplication and then division. So I can multiply this by this and have it like this, and I can multiply numerator by denominator and have my answer like this. But what of the case of addition and subtraction? But the case of subtraction and multiplication are not like that. Let's take rule number 3. Rule number 3 says that note root m plus root n, or let's say root m plus n, is not equal to root m plus root n. Please take note, they are not equal. This cannot be equal to this, and the same is applicable for subtraction. M minus n, root m minus n, is not equal to root m minus root n. So do not make a mistake of saying this is equal to this. It is never equal, and this is never equal. However, in terms of multiplication and division, it works for it, and it is perfect to be taken like that. So let's solve some basic questions on sort. First question here says simplify root 12. So let's get into the solution. Simplify root 12. So you have number 1, root 12. So how can I simplify root 12? What is done about simplification is just to make it look simple. Make it look simple. So if I want to make this look simple, I can just make it become 4 multiplied by 3. Remember that in anything you are doing, the rules of the sword must be considered. So remember that if I should have something like this, I can express it this way so that it becomes justified that this is equal to this. So I can't say 9 plus 3 now. 9 plus 3 will give me 12, but I can't tell that the root of 9 plus 3 should give me root 12. No, that will be wrong. So this only works for multiplication and division. So root 12 is equals to root 4 times 3. And then from here, can separate it to be root 4 multiplied by root 3. So since this is a perfect root, so I can just get my answer. So this will be 2 because the square root of 4 is 2. So I now have root 3. So 2 root 3 is the simplicity law of root 12. So root 12 now is equal to 2 root 3. So let's take example number 2. Example number 2 say express root 48 in a simplest solved form. Express root 48. So when you take root 48, what you think is, can I multiply anything by 40, anything by another number, or any number by another number, that maybe one of them would be a perfect square, would be a perfect square. So when you look at that, when you think about the factors of 48, you can have it to be 12 times 4, right? So when you have 12 times 4, you can just simplify it by saying root 12 multiplied by root 4. So root 4 is 2 and this is 12 already. So this becomes 2 root 12. But is this totally simplified? This can still be simplified to become this, meaning that I can still make root 12 to be 2 root 3. So through these processes, so this will become 2 multiplied by 2 root 3. So the final answer remains 2 times 2, 4, and then 3. So root 3. So our final answer is 4 root 3. Another shortest way to get this done is by saying 16 multiplied by 3. I mean from here. So you can just say 12 instead of 12 times 4 can simply be 16 multiplied by 3. So 16 multiplied by 3 still give me 48. So I can split it to be root 16 multiplied by root 3. So that root 16 will just straightforward give me a 4, because the square root of 16 is 4. And then I'm left with root 3, which is not a perfect square. So I will leave the answer in sort. So this is 4 root 3. You can see that you still have the same answer. So let's take the last one. Number 3. These are just simple basic sort. So find the value of root 2 times 3 times 6. So this is a simple thing to do. So we can multiply all together, or if you like, we separate them. But since we just have to simplify them, there's no need for separation. So just say 2 times 3, that's 6. And 6 times 6 is 36. And what is the square root of 36? So that was 6. So this is a simplified version or simplified term for root 2 times 3 times 6. So they are all equal to 6. So this is how to calculate insert. Now I want you to take note. Take note that root 2 plus root 2. So I can say is 2 root 2. I have 1 root 2 plus another 1 root 2 is equal to 2 root 2. but I cannot say this is correct, but I cannot say root 2 plus root 2 is equals to root 4. No, this is wrong. So this is wrong to say that it's equal to the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So this is not equal to. So I can say that root 2 plus root 2 is equal to 2 root 2. So I can say that 3 root 4 plus 5 root 4, since they both have the same root. So if I have 3 root 4 and I have 5 root 4, this is equals to 9 root 4. So this is accepted, that is correct. So I hope you understood everything we explained about sort in addition, in subtraction, in multiplication and division. I hope you understand everything perfectly. Bye bye. See you in the next video.